Hello students, in the last class we have discussed about array and string. So we have seen the declaration of array, initialization of array, single dimension array, multi-dimension array. If we'll discuss about a string, so whatever we have done in C we can implement in C++ also by using cin and cout. We have also seen that if you are accepting a string by using cout statement, only a single word can read, and for this we have seen cin.getLine method, cin.get method. Sorry. C++ also provide an string object using which we can accept a string. So we have discussed both the way in the last session. Today we are going to discuss about functions. Uh, Again, this is not new. Function, everything concept, whatever you have studied in C, the concepts are remain same, syntaxes remain same. Just I am recalling the things what you have done in C that you can implement it in C++. So at the very beginning of this C++ session, I told you that C++ post increment in C. So everything whatever you have studied in C that can be done in C++ also. Just by using a little syntax change of C++, uh, majorly cin and cout instead of printf and scanf. The rest, everything is remain same. So my purpose is to, in the beginning of this lesson, my purpose just is to say you that please be comfortable. This is not very new for you. You just need to think about a little syntax change and you can implement C++ easily. So after function, then we'll see about pointers, then we'll see about a structure, and then we'll see about object-oriented concept and what is class and what is remaining things of object-oriented in C++. So right now, you can say that we are just learning or brushing up C things, concept of C by using C++ syntax. So today we have to start about functions. So function in C++, you can say C and C++, both is similar in concern of function. A function is a block of code which is used to perform a particular task. So in C you have also studied function is a set of statements that is used to perform a particular task. For example, let's say you are writing a large C++ program, and in that program you want to do a particular task several number of times, like displaying a value from 1 to 10. In order to do that, you have to write few lines of code again and again, and you need to repeat this line every time you display the values. Another way, you can write this line of code inside a function and call that function whenever it is required. This will make your code simple, reusable, readable. So what is the syntax of function? So you all know that first we specify the return type, then we specify the name of function, then parameter list, that is optional, that it is not mandatory that you need to use parameter. If the function is receiving argument, then you need to use parameter, then the block of function, and whatever you want to perform the task you can specify. So let's see here. I have created a function int sum which is receiving two arguments, num1 and num2, both is of integer type. I am adding num3 equals to num1 plus num2 and returning num3. So num3 is of integer type. So you are looking the return type of sum function is int. And inside the main, I have called the sum method and passing 1 and 99. So 1 will get received in num1 variable, 99 will get received in num2 variable. Now num3 will contain 1 plus 99, that is 100, and 100 is returned, which is cout. Which is cout inside the main method means 100 will get displayed. One thing, you are looking here, I have not used any prototype declaration. So take care, if you are creating main method before the function, I'm repeating, if you are creating main method, main function before a user defined function, then prototype declaration is mandatory. But if you are creating a function first and then you are creating a main function, then prototype declaration is not mandatory. So here, because I have created first function and then I have created int main, so that's why I have not declared the prototype of this function. So you are looking here, here I have created int main first and then I have created int sum, so that's why I have declared the prototype of this method also. So it is written here, well, I am writing this program to let you understand an important term regarding function, which is function declaration, that I have told prototype declaration. Let's see the program first, and then at the end we'll discuss function declaration, definition, and calling of program. So you are looking here, int sum, which is receiving two integer arguments. So that's why I have written int comma int, that is prototype declaration. Then I have called the function sum. 199 I have passed as the argument. 1 will receive inside num1 and 2 will be received inside num2. Then it will get returned 100 and it will get displayed. So function declaration, you have seen that I have written the same program in two ways. In first program, I didn't write function declaration. So I have told you, if you are creating main method, main function, first you are creating main function, then you are creating user defined function, then prototype declaration is required. But if you are creating a user defined function first, then you are creating a main function, then function prototype declaration is not required. So for function declaration, what you need to do, return type, function name, then parameter list. While providing parameter list, you can avoid the parameter name. There is not required that you are writing parameter name, just data type is required, like int sum, int int. Here I am not declaring int num1 and int num2. So you can write, but it is not mandatory. Function definition, you all know the syntax of function definition, return type, function name, parameter list, then the body of the function. And how to call the function? Function name, if the function is receiving parameter, you need to pass the parameter and then semicolon. So there are two types of functions, built-in function and user-defined function. What is the difference between these two? Built-in function means the function which comes with the compiler, or the function which is already defined. Means you just need to use it. Like getLine function you have used, that was a built-in function. Like you have used printf in C, that was a built-in function. You have used scanf in C language, that was a built-in function. You do not need to define the body of the function because that is written by the language itself. You know that what getLine will do, what get will do, what printf will do, what scanf will do. You just need to use it. So for built-in function, we just need to call it because the definition is already present. For user-defined function, first we need to define the body of the method. Body of the function means what function will do, that we need to define first. And then at the time of requirement, we just need to call it. So for user-defined function, we need to first define the body of the function, and then at the time of requirement, we just need to call it. So for built-in function, like you are using a power function. So power function is defined in math header file. So I have written cmath, hash include cmath, and then power 2 and 5. So 2 to the power 5, it will return you 32. So you have not written this body of the power method, power function. That body is already defined. You are just calling that function. User defined function, you are looking here, beginner's book. You have created this function. And then at the time of requirement in the main function, you are looking beginner's book function I have called. So that is user defined function. So for user defined function, first you need to define the body of the function, then you need to call it. So you are looking here, sum I have declared after the main function. So that's why I have declared its prototype, int sum, int int. Now inside the main method, I have taken two variables x and y. So I have given a message, enter first number, c in x, enter second number, c in y. Inside sum function, I have passed xy. So sum function is receiving the value of x and y inside a variable a and b. It is adding a plus b and putting it into a variable c and then returning the variable c. Because the return type is int, that's why, and c is also integer variable that will return, and that will see out by cout statement. So I have entered, enter first number 22, enter second number 19. The sum of these two is 41. Now that is a new concept that you have not studied in C language. Default argument in C++. Look, if function is receiving the argument, that we all know that passing argument is mandatory. If you are not passing argument, then it will give an error, right? So if the function is receiving 3 arguments, it is mandatory to pass 3 arguments. If you will not pass 3 arguments value, then it will give an compile time error. Now, by using the concept of default argument, this is not mandatory to pass all the argument value. Now, at the time of declaration of the function, you need to specify the default value. And whatever the default value you will specify, if you will not pass the argument, that default value has been taken by the compiler. And if you are going to pass the value, then whatever the new value you are passing, that will be considered. So let's read this slide. The default arguments are used when you provide no arguments or only few arguments while calling a function. The default arguments are used during compilation of the program. For example, let's you have a user-defined function sum declared like this: int sum, int a equals to 20, int b equals to 20. These two are the parameter, and you are looking here. I have defined default value 10 and 20. Now, when you are calling the function, simply writing sum, you are not passing any argument. Then it automatically takes 10 and 20 as a default value of a and b. If you are passing sum 80, the value of a will be 80, but b will remain 20, because 20 is the default value. If you are not passing, that default value will take, and if you are passing, then whatever the new value you are passing, that will get considered. So look at here, I have declared a function int sum, int a, b, and c, and I have given two default value, for c 20, for b 10. It is not mandatory that you need to specify every default value. You can give to a also. I have not given. And when I am calling sum with value a, value 1, then the value of a will be 1, b will considered as 10, and the c will considered as 20. So the total output will be 20 plus 10 plus a 1, that will be 31. So you are looking in the output, first output is 31. Second, you are passing 1 and 2. So the value of a will 1, value of b will 2, but the value of c will remain 20. So 20 plus 2 plus 1, that is 23. Now you are passing 1, 2, 3. So the value of a will be 1, b will be 2, and c will be 3. And the total output will be 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is 6. Now, one thing that you need to care while you are passing default argument. Default argument is always assigned from right to left. So let's suppose in the previous example, there was 3 arguments, int a, int b, int c. It cannot happen that you have not provided the default value to c, but you have provided the default value to b. For providing the default value to b, it is mandatory to provide the default value of c. So first you need to provide the default value of c, then you can provide the default value of b, and then you can provide the default value of a. So default value are always assigned from right to left till you will not specify the default value for rightmost argument. You cannot specify the default value for the left argument. So there are some valid and invalid declarations. So tell me about first declaration, that is valid, second declaration, that is valid, third declaration, that is valid. What about invalid? Look at here, invalid declaration. You have specified the default value of c, that is okay, but you have not specified the default value of b. And then you have again specified the default value of a equals to 10. That is wrong. So before specifying the default value of a equals to 10, you must need to specify the default value of b also. Look at the second, int sum, int a, int b equals to 20, comma, int c. That means again it's an invalid declaration, because for specifying a default value of b, first you need to specify the default value of c. Look at the third, int sum, int a equals to 10, int b equals to 20, int c. This is invalid, because for assigning the default value to b and a, it is mandatory to assign the default value of c. So if I am writing int a equals to 10, int b equals to 20, and int c equals to 30, that is okay, absolutely right. But if I have not initialized the default value to c, we cannot initialize the default value to b and a. So here I have initialized, so that is an invalid declaration. So that is a new concept of C++ about default argument. So except default argument, whatever the thing you have done in C language, like call by value, call by reference, in function, everything is remain same. So don't worry, we'll discuss about pointers in the subsequent sessions, and then I'll tell you how to use pointer, and the use of pointer is also remains same like C inside C++ also. So in the next class we'll discuss about pointers and remaining things. For today, thank you very much.